One of the steps to achieving a rich and fulfilling life is taking care of our health, consuming a nutrient-rich diet, keeping active, and doing things that promote emotional well-being. Hi there. This is Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for joining us. On the pages today, the social inclusion strategies of the government that are empowering citizens to enjoy a better life. Plus, a look at the harmful relation between smoking, cancer, and your lungs. Then, forest treks, preserving the environment. For all that and so much more, stay with us.
There's a long-distance relay that's still on. Many have taken it this far, each leg as important as the next, each challenge faced with determination. Now it's your turn to take the baton. People living with HIV and AIDS and those who are vulnerable need your commitment. It stands in the way of a better quality of life for all of us and our self-respect as a region. It stands in the way of victory in the fight to stop the spread of HIV. Reject stigma and discrimination. Get us to zero.
Protecting the right of Jamaicans to a fair and equitable share of public goods such as decent shelter is a major focus of the government on its mission to spur growth and develop Jamaica. It's a transformational strategy. Take a look.
I would like to see those barracks become a relic of the past.
I feel glad enough because we have been waiting for years and now it's finally coming true.
Clara is among hundreds of persons benefiting from a program dedicated to elevating the living conditions of Jamaican sugar workers.
The time has now come for a fundamental and sustainable transformation of the way sugar workers live. The barracks relocation project was therefore conceived to build decent houses and decent communities for the current and future generations.
It's part of what's called social inclusion, a governance model identified by the Portia Simpson Miller administration as one of its strategic priorities for the 2013-2014 financial year. Through the Sugar Barracks Relocation Project, Clara and others are enjoying the security of a safe, decent place within which to take shelter. The pride that comes with fulfilling a lifelong, sometimes intergenerational goal, and the freedom of having an asset with which to trade, secure loans, and provide the equity for other income-generating ventures.
The government, with the support of the European Union, under the Accompanying Measures for Sugar program, has decided that all residents of the Sugar Estate Barracks identified by the Sugar Transformation Unit are to be relocated to new housing developed on excluded estate lands.
About 876 sugar workers will benefit from approximately 398 houses on 7 sites across the parishes of Westmoreland, Trelawney, St. Thomas and Clarendon. The project is being funded by the European Union to the sum of $1.4 billion.
We are happy to contribute to a sector with such a great potential and are confident that this excellent level of cooperation will continue.
A major consideration of the project is restoring dignity to the hard-working men and women who toil unending to bring sugar and its byproducts to our tables.
When rain fall, we wet up and so on, hurricane come and blow off it up them, but now I'm glad say it a change. So I'm not going to have them problem there anymore.
The dwellings are to be provided at the rate of 1 building per family, including toilet and cooking facilities. The land space will be adequate for housing as well as small-scale economic activities.
This speaks to another component of the barracks relocation exercise, which is to eliminate the marginalization of sugar workers.
We are rolling out an ambitious raft of projects to support improvements to social and economic infrastructure in sugar areas. These include cane roads rehabilitation, regional drainage project, and projects to improve clinics, schools, and sporting facilities.
Plans are also on the books for shops, markets, post offices, churches, playfields, industrial areas, community centers, and police stations where necessary in sugar barracks communities. This enabling environment will provide job opportunities and encourage community participation as it sets out to build human capacity.
Overall, we will spend some $3.4 billion over the next 4 years on our social programs.
Ground has been broken for schemes in all 4 parishes, with advance work taking place on the Steelfield relocation site in Trelawney. This $215 million scheme will house some 97 former and current sugar workers from 39 homes. In Clarendon, the Springfield relocation site is to house 209 occupants. The value of this project is $160.4 million. The largest of the schemes is in St. Thomas and is shared between Stokes Hall and Hampton Court with 225 houses. Now in its infrastructure stages, the $305.8 million project will house 486 residents once completed. Over in Westmoreland, serious headway is being made on the Barham, Shrewsbury and Maysmore sites. The 46 houses here are intended for 84 residents. Work is expected to be completed on all sites by November 2014.
Getting these houses right now is very nice because we know so we come from a poor class, you know, and if we did feel build a house in this time and age, you know, it would take a lot. And we want to thank the government of Jamaica, thank the EU for what they have done for us.
Housing sugar workers, making good on the promise to provide decent shelter for all. Improving the lives of citizens in sugar communities, making social inclusion a Jamaican reality.
Join the fight. Quit smoking for life.
Government through the Ministry of Health is urging all of us to practice healthy lifestyles and quit bad habits like tobacco smoking, which is a key contributor to diseases such as lung cancer. Because as deadly as this disease can be, there are ways to significantly reduce the risk to ourselves.
This is a chest X-ray of a patient who has lung cancer. And what it actually shows is the lung cancer on the left side. So this white area right here is basically where the lung cancer is.
The lungs are among the largest organs in our body, located on each side of our heart.
They work with our respiratory system to allow us to take in fresh air, get rid of stale air, and even enable us to talk. But doctors say when the lungs are damaged by cancer, it could lead to several complications. Cigarette and tobacco smoking are the major causes of lung cancer.
Cigarette smoking is the number 2 among the leading causes of death worldwide.
Researchers have shown that the longer one smokes, the greater the risk of developing lung cancer. and to stop smoking can substantially reduce the risk of having the disease. The disease is common in both males and females who smoke. Statistics from the World Health Organization shows that smoking causes about 90% of lung cancers in men and 80% in women. However, doctors say the incidences of lung cancers among men are decreasing, but it is increasing in women.
We find out that nowadays you have less male that are smoking, while the incidence of smoking in female is actually increasing. So we think that's one of the most contributing factors to the increased incidence in females.
According to Dr. Blygen, the risk of lung cancer is not just limited to the smoker. Smoking near a loved one puts his or her health at risk because secondhand smoke is also loaded with chemicals and toxins dangerous to the body.
You can get cancer once you're in the vicinity, or if you lock up in the same room with the individual, or driving in a car with the individual that is smoking.
If you have been a smoker for a long period of time, you should consult a healthcare provider if you develop any of the symptoms associated with lung cancer, including persistent or intense coughing, pain in the chest, shoulder, or back from coughing, difficulty in breathing and swallowing, hoarseness of the voice, harsh sounds while breathing, chronic bronchitis or pneumonia, and coughing up blood or blood in the sputum. According to Dr. Blygen, there are no symptoms associated with the early stage of lung cancer. It may take years before symptoms start to appear, usually after the disease is in an advanced stage.
So what we should do is prevent lung cancer by stop smoking and eliminate exposure to secondhand smoke. However, if you have developed lung cancer, it can be treated at the early stage.
People who have lung cancer can present in varying forms. If you present with early, where you have a small lesion or a small growth in the lung, then surgery can actually deal with that. And you can live for 5 years greater than 85%, almost back to normal life. However, if you present late, where there is spread all over the chest, then the chances of survival is quite slim. However, we can prolong your life with chemotherapy and radiation treatment.
Over the years, the Ministry of Health and other related agencies have been appealing to the public to stop cigarette and tobacco smoking, as the cost to treat smoking-related illnesses continue to eat deeper into the national budget.
The fact that smoking is bad for us is no secret. We all see the pictures of charcoal black lungs displayed in schools, hospitals, health centers, and doctors' waiting rooms. Some of these warnings are also written boldly on the boxes of cigarettes. But smokers are still lighting up, and new smokers are adopting the habit every single day.
All the literature and the data is there that says that cigarette smoking is bad. Cigarette smoking not only affects the lung, but it affects the heart, it affects the brain, it affects the abdomen, it affects the limbs, it affects everything. In combination with other things that can be quite dangerous. And so I would advise everyone to quit smoking and live a physical and a good life.
Finger-licking jerk chicken, Helcher fish and bami, will run down yam and banana, roast breadfruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. This November is Eat Jamaican Month, so let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Don't forget, no, just to know yourself's a blessing. Don't forget, no, second guessing is regressing.
The Forestry Department will be leading hundreds of Jamaicans on a trek to the cockpit country at the end of the month as it continues to get more people to help replant the island's forest areas. Here's what happened when a similar trek led into the Blue Mountains.
A call to the wild, an annual affair igniting people's awareness to the value of trees and the forest. This is a hike. Forest Trekking 2012 had its second successful staging. 600 resolute men and women committing to preserve and protect. Starting at sunrise, they began a journey up the majestic Blue Mountains. The goal? Replanting 600 trees in the wetland forest 5,000 feet above sea level. Motive? Supporting the Forestry Department's efforts to preserve forested areas which indeed help to sustain our lives. It's a physical fitness exercise as well. A 12-kilometer trek from St. Peter's to the Syncona Botanical Gardens, testing hikers' strength and endurance. But certainly an invigorating experience of nature's thrilling beauty. Among the lush greenery and amazing blues lies Syncona's age-old edifice, shingled roofs and wooden lattice walls, picturesque but dysfunctional and in weight of repair. No doubt an artisan's dream.
This is close to heaven. The atmosphere is just awesome.
The main aim behind the trek is just to get more Jamaicans aware about our forest. So we feel that you bring them up here. They can literally breathe it and feel the need to protect it. And I think we're achieving that.
Persons who are ready to plant, just follow the trail. You will find a forester around there who will assist with the planting.
Approximately 0.1% of our forests are lost annually. That's too much in numbers, and therefore it's important to replant.
We really are doing a lot in terms of destroying all the natural forest reserves and the rivers, and so we need to do our part.
It's no easy task, one requiring the input of every sector of society. Fittingly, the theme for Forest Trek says it appropriately. Do your part, let's replant.
I'm glad I played a part.
Well, I think it's awesome that the Forest Department has organized the whole trip and, planting trees in this area.
I was excited to make the journey up, and I was also excited to get my hands dirty and to do my part. I planted 2 trees, 2 silky oaks, and it was a great feeling.
I would actually do it again.
There's true peace and tranquility to be found in the wild, and those who make the trek to the Blue Mountains are sure to find that irresistibly perfect spot to relax and rejuvenate. But beyond that, one message must be clear. Trees and the forest have great value, and beyond its economic use, our forest plays the role of protecting and conserving our soil, air quality, primary water source, and biological diversity. Forest conservation and protection requires partnership. NGOs, the private sector, communities, everyone can help. It's our responsibility.
Right now we have a project funded by the European Union. It's our climate change adaptation project, and we're planting up in this area where you are. So you see all along the sides that you pass, we're planting 300 hectares.
For successive generations, let's do our part. Let's replant. Support the sustainable management, conservation, and development of Jamaica's forests. It's everybody's business. For more information, contact the Forestry Department, 173 Constant Spring Road, Kingston 8. Telephone number 924-2667-8.
I'm Empress. My sisters, my queens, my mothers, my daughters, my girls, my women, I am begging you, stay away from crime and violence. Don't risk your soul. Don't risk your life. We have a strong history of crime and violence, and it's never paid. You're the backbone of the family, of the future, of our generation, of our country. Save the children. Set an example. A gang is a dead end.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
On the board this week, the Child Development Agency, in commemoration of World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse, presents Bless the Children, a prayer vigil and free concert on Tuesday, November 19 at the Mandela Park in Halfway Tree. The event starts with an expo at 2:30 p.m. with the concert starting 5 p.m. and ending at 7:30 p.m. Call 967-1614 for reservations. Community of Concerned Citizens Ebenezer Home Management Committee invites you to their 13th anniversary celebration and annual open day on Thursday, 21st of November 2013, under the theme, Working Together to Change Lives. It's on the grounds of the Manchester Infirmary Grey Ground, Manchester. Starting time 2 p.m. The Toronto Cantata Chorus invites you to a series of benefit concerts in Kingston and Montego Bay. These will be held at the Constant Spring Road Church of God, 93B Constant Spring Road, Kingston 10 at 6 p.m. Today, Saturday, November 16, 2013, Sunday, November 17, 2013 at the University Chapel, Uwimona, Kingston at 7 p.m. And Thursday, November 21, 2013 at Black River Theatre, Iberia Star Hotels and Resorts, Rosal, Montego Bay at 7 p.m. Proceeds are in support of the Love and Hope Ministries, the Jamaican Epilepsy Association, and the Wise Women's Club of Montego Bay. Call Antoinette Forrester at 339-3777 or email prosperalive@yahoo.com. Send us your events for broadcast on the GIS Community Notice Board. Call 922-868-022 or send an email to cbishop@gis.gov.gm.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
A topical subject on the minds of many Jamaicans. What exactly is the Jamaica Logistics Hub initiative?
Logistics is the process by which businesses manage the flow of goods, services, people, information, energy, and other resources through the entire supply chain from source to end users.
The various components of the hub will allow Jamaica to capitalize on the increased trade expected to flow through the region when the Panama Canal expansion is completed in 2016.
We are not saying by that all of the project would have been finished. We are saying that there is a core set of projects and programs that must be implemented.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub, a plan in action to increase trade and grow the economy.
Economic growth, successful IMF review, and government welcomes the Haitian president. A recap of those and other important news stories from this week next.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. The Jamaican economy grew by nearly 1% in the July to September quarter of this year. The improvement, which is in comparison to the corresponding period last year, was spurred by a number of factors, including the rollout of several capital projects.
This growth will be boosted by the strenuous pursuit of investment in large, strategic projects.
Meanwhile, the credibility of the country's economic program got the thumbs up this week when an IMF mission to Jamaica announced that the country had passed its second review under the Extended Fund Facility. Head of the IMF mission, Jan Keys Martin, said Jamaica met all quantitative targets and structural benchmarks for the second quarter of the financial year.
The execution of the 2013-14 budget has been broadly on track, and more generally, overall policy implementation under the program has been strong.
By mid-December, the IMF mission to Jamaica will ask the board of the multilateral agency to consider its assessment and, if accepted, $30 million more will be disbursed to Jamaica. This will also pave the way for Jamaica to get about $270 million from other multilateral agencies. Haiti and Jamaica this week forged stronger bonds of friendship and cooperation for mutual development as the Haitian President Michel Martelly wrapped up an historic 3-day state visit to Jamaica. The Haitian President and Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller pledged to collaborate on a range of bilateral, regional and multilateral issues of common interest, including trade and investment, security, sports, agriculture, education and tourism.
And we will explore together the greater opportunities for growth and development of both our countries.
But these are certainly issues that were dealt with and had been discussed in the past.
La différence cette fois-ci, c'est la volonté, l'engagement farouche des deux.
The difference now is the determination and the dynamic attitudes of both the Premier Minister of Jamaica and myself, so that we can make these promises, these agreements become real.
President Martelly, who arrived in the island on Wednesday, departed Friday evening. Also in this week's news, word that a sign-off on amendments to the ban on smoking in specified public places should be forthcoming by this month end. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson said he was awaiting a report from Cabinet following the recent deliberations by the Human Resource and Social Development Committee of Parliament.
We are yielding as it relates to smoking in homes, although we are going to be ramping up the public education, because remember your children, your helper, because the question of workers, remember, these regulations were put in place to protect workers, children, non-smokers, and smokers themselves.
In other news, the Ministry of Transport, Works and Housing is moving to address damaged roads in St. Mary and the Oxford Main Road bordering Manchester and St. Elizabeth. Representatives of the National Works Agency and members of Parliament toured the areas to design a plan of action. The Oxford Main Road, which was recently repaired, is at risk of breakaways and potholes from improper water runoff from adjacent lands.
First is to deal with the drainage coming from the adjacent lands and feeding it back into the main drain, which was just recently constructed. I think if we deal with that, we can deal with the area of the road where it is now cutting into.
In St. Mary, intervention will target damaged bridges and road surfaces and major breakaways needing urgent attention. And finally, Richard Azan is again the Minister of State in the Ministry of Transport, Works and Housing, having been sworn into office Thursday morning at King's House. He returns to the portfolio, having resigned in mid-September, to allow for an investigation into his role in the construction of 10 shops at the Spaldings Market in Clarendon. After reviewing the matter, Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn said there was no basis on which to charge Mr. Azan for any crime.
I think the level of service that Minister Azan has given to the people, not only to his constituency, but across Jamaica, I believe he deserves another chance to serve the people.
The people come first at all times, and I put the people of Jamaica first, and that is what I will continue to do.
And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
That brings us to the close of today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. It was good sharing this half hour with you. Don't forget, we value your feedback, so drop us a line. Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. You may also follow us on Twitter at JIS News. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, inviting you to join us again tomorrow. Until then, do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.